Mr. Lynch, knives, or knife, whatever. Good morning, Mr. Massimo, so simply, Mr. Massimo, so simply. Or simply, 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 David. Questa video notte vedete, it's March 17, 2026, and it's Tuesday in Naples, once again, mid sky. Yes, for me, as only for the noise, it mid is an equivalent variable radical. In fact, as annual clear day, alternating window to cloudy or cloudy days cut to in general, or vice versa, and there is also one the collective considered period, perhaps more vivid and cold generally one. At the same time, perhaps also seems now, also in case I can say vice versa, it seems very now, and this is one, and it's a bit, and it's early afternoon, it's noon and 51 minutes. 685 16 Celsius il colla che si viene in flash set as 20 days 25 days more or less insomma it's more early spring atmosphere, the light spring atmosphere, one of them, and of course we are also going to spring practically in 4 days and next Friday, on the ordinary Friday, and to be precise in Italy in 10 1 a.m. We'll enter in fact the spring, but at the same time it's cold, in fact cold is agitated resource for the winter period, so supports for the second. As because see effect chantrans for us necessary das sensitive factory work and for us the parts of space some absolutely very few for me space some in carbon factory work overcome for us capito now for the winter coming to be as in the summer 21 in particular in 6 for entry PM in Italy as absolutely in carbon sono bolle Chinese così di non ci vuole attraverso i primi mesi for simulazione simulazione for cosa che ti piace in Chinese si aspetta per sparare per me e su interrogo ci sono spring esambio certificate spring su GT soft per esempio di GT8 for dot once again GT soft sono stati già for season subirsa casi GT se che mi te mi wasa fingo sem fingo tu da musuto in complain but no consiglio di su winter school we complain should do complain ma tu non si sente absolutely in complain I'm very feeling more referred to me perhaps particularly for this period and fact for fact to feel cool less la pivot in questo senso per practice per two practice in particolare following news in some solution mister for cool nel campo di winter period winter da quarzo via da questo at come ciò che spiega di generally I will sort come che spiega sottare su practice se che so di sia I will take the first part of this content in asterisk so some is interested in to the practice or indicate the bit reason you read the first part of this content this asterisk run for so più meeting not because in fact if cool right think yes no dipende non dem dipende da me think rent e percent if cool however in general in some way for me was good instead but I got to spend that I don't know think it's the same just for me secondo sto in piedi perché non vi sembra funziona di so Ingrid Diafro, finché 3% si sei bitch si for 695 16 Celsius. Ata, importing some siete ci vedi. Si for dove disa. Essere sicurtini sono se curtin già se stata per usare atmosfera che si suppose fa che sta di atmosphere cioè essere really would say that we was beautiful blue skies going to shine but it's not correct because like yesterday pratically also some clouds in sky in fact consider not la statistica but let's say perhaps last week I think in fact it's possible I think it's possible almost sure that later in late afternoon obviously really automatic became I think totally cloudy front totally mostly cloudy totally cloudy and also that mattina effettivamente si trova tutto seems remote possibility but as reason obviously one chance of wizards for the same clear like on skin today very clear bad no well bad or perhaps counter bad weather at the moment or well, maximum atmosphere, little bad or bad, maximum atmosphere, little good, no. In general, better say well or bad well, one of them. So si sopra mi dico, quindi not questi in France sono preferiti mix freelance, si sono corti senza la storia, ma magari ti insomma come sono barti, o prego parti con third party, sono lì for sono i set uso da prego scurtino beautiful grey curtain and beautiful painted with branches, ma tu ripeto le passe, cioè con le prego scurtino in uno things later mette, so rido il sing is one of my comments on the section, to should be one to the first comment up for comment, one of them so rido comment section, and so you can see notice the three well, so shot in your mani, from it finco yes, on one end finco yes, see green flowers, longer flowers, mixed plants. I don't know, in fact, or even better, sulle piante si lascia attrarre questa parte del vitro, which produce sciolto di weather scatta sia in genere scazzi come quindi scazzi come room, perché se sappi sono lo stato amico, quindi era amico room. Or, from a broad perspective, also fornisare parecchio da sciolta, simulato cazzi la sciolta ci momento di essere un attimo che non verrà se tu andremo a pensare pazienza sciolbito, non te la tua se tu è, non quanto se tu è, fino a tanto quanto se tu sciolbi momento si vuole ed è film fuori per scurtine di bit, biusul che curtine, biusul pente, invece sa potuto sopra verso curtine un strove, porta cara curtine, fanteremo xati di sciolere, cara curtine stealing con minge channel one day sono per sciolcito è a voi si sing, this is shot so lead to effect the buff one recent sure the green should also this at more when this is this measure now si è da little speech or sentence si che si per scurtine di bit biusul che curtine biusul per te sa si che per essere scurtine servers curtine sono si che sempre xati di now si read also di si read so di curtine so that repeat special significance for times as well in little speech or sentence is but also and always better visible for me its entirety release a shot at sequence unity con la gen shot. Ricordate che l'uscita notificazione ottimistica notificazione stesso verso ottobre in supporto del torso di notificazione la storia del test pitch assente del suo forte ultimo sofferite sul suo del sofferite so repeat once again but also and always better visible for me its sentirity inizio shot sequence mitico gen shot and finally from mythical keyboard Magic 640 PG 635 also is being gen shot week also finally shot fact I meet on January 24th to Saturday through which you can see the actual condition better of the keyboard or better actual condition since December 2nd 2024 fact since that day this is the main problem factory sono letto in display also there are little problems better another problem that the main problem factory sono letto in display one time sono letto al try to fix it questi only people are John the birds everything to so well mister also myself also perché sei in finale io le hanno back today it's elite in general so massive come si elite mi fa sempre pensasse tanto in fact not piacevole sistema se elite in general for the people and goal for my ego but not for my us so now so kind of so mighty perché back fast the source but it's between sembra in general essa since February goal since this month and April until the next December January sometimes elite but all important that is very good reaction sembra un sito so in fact back sentendo si mette start with Fienta non parte tinki mink fienta non parte mette tu di est se finché tra così cosa metti su search attribute ma tu di close di carriera tu sono as ma ti sembra no as just for no yes as just for ma ti sembra no more no yes as just for